Trying to unlock that aesthetic anime physique can be very intimidating. You don't know where to start, and you're not sure where to level up. But it doesn't have to be that way, because in this video, I'm going to be giving you every calisthenics progression you need to unlock an anime physique, even if you're starting from zero. And throughout this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a full structured program that uses these basic progressions so you can start working on your anime physique today. Now, one of the most distinct features of an anime physique is the iconic V-taper. Oh, shower me with V-tapers. AKA wide shoulders, narrow waist. Think of characters like Toji, Garo, and Sung Jin-woo. Now, if you're starting off as a beginner and you want to look like how Toji looks when he's decking Gojo in the face, the exercise that you'll want to start off with is inverted rows. Probably the best and most accessible exercise for anybody to do for the V-taper. Heck, even I still do these in my own program. These are perfect for targeting that upper back, but they also do a great job at hitting the lats, helping you to grow that V-taper even as a beginner. And the easiest way to progress these is just lowering your body angle until you become horizontal. But once they start getting too easy, then you're going to need to take it up a notch in order to make significant V-taper gains. You're going to want to do this secret progression that nobody ever talks about: archer rows. With archer rows, you pull yourself up with one arm while straightening the other one. This focuses a lot more attention on one side and makes the regular inverted row much harder. I like to alternate sides, but there's nothing wrong with spamming one side at a time. Now you're starting to develop a pretty strong back, but we can go further and beyond with the next progression: one arm rows. Now you have no supporting arm and you're pulling a majority of your body weight with just one side of your back. And if you get to this point, you're starting to get a pretty solid foundation and should be seeing that V-taper come through. But to speed up the process of unlocking the V-taper, we're going to want to switch things up a bit, because after you get comfortable with beginner level horizontal pulling, you need to step into the intermediate levels of vertical pulling. Vertical pulling is going to be a lot better for lat development, so we need to spam that as much as possible. And the next best progression to start your vertical pulling journey is jackknife pull-ups. Almost like regular pull-ups, but your feet are on the ground and your body's at 90 degrees. I recommend doing these on the rings to make them as effective as possible. Your goal is to drive your elbows into the ground and into your sides as hard as you can. Pro form tip: while you're doing that, make sure you're shrugging your shoulders away from the ears. But after you get used to pulling vertically, we still need to get stronger. We still need to get bigger. So after jackknife pull-ups, the next progression is going to be pull-up negatives. These are great because you're supporting your entire body weight with just your back muscles. And since you're only doing the negative, you don't have to be as strong at the pull-up in order to do these and develop your back. Just make sure that your back is fully engaged the entire time and keep your shoulders again away from the ears as you descend for at least 3 seconds. Because eventually you are going to get strong enough until you can fully stop your descent, which is actually the next progression: pull-up holds. These are one of my personal favorites. You now get to suspend yourself in the air with all of your strength. It's like time has stopped. You have Zawarudoed the world and you're just there at peace, holding this position, and then you let go slowly and then you just go back to the ground. Since this is an isometric movement, meaning you don't move, it's static, your lats are going to be under constant tension, and the longer you can hold it, the better your gains are going to be. You'll want to try holding in 3 different positions at a time. So the top, the middle, and the bottom. This is going to help discover any weak points or sticking points in your pull-up. And it's also going to help you progress to the next progression, which is the pull-up. You've made it. You did it. Good job. You have now entered the pro levels of back building, because now you're lifting your entire body weight. And this is by far the best exercise, one of the best exercises to develop that V look. So once you get here, start spamming these as much as you can. Even outside of your workout, just do pull-ups on your door frame. Do it at work. Do it in the bathroom. And after you get good at normal pull-ups, we can start stepping into some cooler variations that are going to target the lats even more. The first one you'll want to try is wide pull-ups. A lot harder than regular pull-ups, and since the grip is a lot wider, it's putting a lot more tension on your lats. Once you start doing these, you're going to notice your reps drop a bit, and you're going to find it a lot harder to contract at the top of the movement. But there is an exercise that all of the pros are doing to develop their lats that isn't a pull-up variation. It's front lever raises. Take the tucked front lever position and drive your straight arms down to the ground as you lift yourself up with pure lat power. This is amazing for the lats because it takes you through a whole new range of motion and puts a lot of stretch at the bottom. Plus, as a bonus, you target your abs as well. Very nice. Now, that may look difficult, but trust me, it does get harder because the next progression takes what you learned during the archer row and multiplies it tenfold and forms it into typewriter pull-ups. Take a wide grip, a very wide grip. then pull up. Then straighten one arm as you go to one side, then straighten the other arm as you go to the other side, like a typewriter. Now you have this amazing unilateral movement. It's going to help you unlock a demon level V-taper. But wait, there's more. It gets better than this. Because if you can do this progression, you can handle the next progression, which is archer pull-ups. By keeping one arm straight, you naturally increase the tension on one side over the other. And not only are you going to have pro-level size gains, but you're also going to get some pro-level strength gains. Homie, honestly, these are amazing. Getting to this point in your pull-up progressions is going to unlock a whole new avenue for you. So if you hate being strong, don't do archer pull-ups. But Kevin, how can I possibly remember all these progressions in my pea brain? Look, I get it. There are a lot of progressions and we still haven't yet scratched the surface. I'm gonna be here a while. But you don't have to memorize them like I have, because I actually built you guys a free app that will give you these progressions for you. Let me show you exactly how it works. First, we have the substitution feature, which spits out some at-home, no equipment substitutions for any exercise you give it. The second feature is the regression feature, which shows you easier exercise variations for whatever exercise you want. You can customize each prompt to adjust to your needs, like maybe you have only access to one arm, maybe you have a sore wrist or whatever situation you want to give it. And the best part is I'm giving it to you guys for free. So if you want to try it out, just click the link in the description. Now, the way I like to structure my V-taper training is actually pretty simple. I start my base as a push-pull leg split because it's my favorite split, and have the majority of my V-taper training on my pulling days. I would start with a heavier variation and then possibly go lighter on the third exercise, since my lats are going to get fatigued over time. Now, on my second pull day, I replaced that exercise not with V-taper training, but with something else, and I'll show you exactly what that is later. But big lats, again, aren't the only factor when it comes to the V-taper. Because if you want wider shoulders, you're just gonna have to get some bigger shoulders. Think of characters such as Garo. And I know everybody wants their own big-ass Death Star delts, which is why this warrants its own section. To kick it off, let's just start with the most basic beginner shoulder exercise that anybody can do at home: body weight lateral raises. They're just like regular lateral raises, but you are doing them against a wall with your own body weight. Not the most impressive of moves, but you're definitely going to feel it in the delts. And if you want to make it harder, just step a little further away from the wall. Now, this is amazing if you want to isolate those shoulders, which is great. But if you want to get even stronger and even bigger shoulders, then the pseudo planche lean is the best progression after this. Since you're leaning forward, a lot of your weight is going to be directed to your shoulders to keep you up, and it's amazing for targeting those front delts. And if you want to take it up a notch a little bit more, you could include a push-up in there to get pseudo planche push-ups, also amazing for the shoulders. But if you want an even more effective progression, something that targets your side delts more, then you're going to want to do some vertical pushing and start doing some pike push-ups. A classic calisthenics basic. It's so good. Get into a pike position, lean forward as you come down, and then as you push up, squeeze your arms overhead like you're lifting up a fat crowd surfer. Just make sure you lean forward enough, otherwise just gonna look like a wonky push-up. Now, to escalate that and progress even more to bigger and stronger and sexier shoulders, you only need to do one thing: raise them feet above your hands. Elevated pike push-ups. This is going to load a lot more body weight onto your shoulders, and it forces you to have your hands a lot more overhead too. But if you really want to use your entire body weight, then the next progression is going to be right up your alley. It's wall handstand holds. As the name implies, you're holding a handstand against a wall. No balance required, just raw shoulder pushing power. You just got to make sure that when you're doing this, you are pushing your hands actively into the ground, as if you were going to fly away from the floor. You're not going to. Humans can't do that. After you start getting used to being upside down, you're ready for the next shoulder progression: wall walks. One of the most underrated bodyweight one of the most underrated shoulder exercises out there. You're basically doing front shoulder raises with your body weight. Just walk yourself up and down the wall with your hands and get ready to feel the pump, because blood won't be pumping. But I don't think these come close to probably the best pro shoulder builder out there, which is going to be wall handstand push-ups. You can either do this with your back to the wall or with your stomach to the wall. I don't care. You make your own life choices. Either way you do it, you're pressing your entire body weight. You're getting much stronger shoulders. When I started doing these, my shoulders blew up. If I can do it, you can too. For shoulder training, it's even more simple than V-taper training. I just take 2 vertical pushing exercises and have them on my push day, of course, but I separate them with something. And I don't need to work shoulders all the time. I like to have a little bit of shoulders on my second push day at the beginning and then more something. But enough about the freaking wide shoulders. There's enough of that, because I know what most of you are here for. Huge man chesticles. So let's just cut to the chase. You're going to want to start with push-ups. This is the base of all calisthenics chest and pushing training. If you don't do push-ups well, you can't do anything well. Ladies, get you a man who can do like 10 push-ups. It trains the whole chest, and at the beginning, you're probably going to be doing around 5 to 10 reps. At its core, it's very basic, but it works. But if you want to target even more of that chest, going for different variations is the best way to progress. In my opinion, the simplest one for this is wide push-ups. The wide grip puts a lot more tension on the chest, and it's easy to do. Just spread your hands wider. A baby could do it. And like the wide pull-up, you're going to find yourself doing less reps, but you're going to find a lot more tension in the places you need it. I don't personally do wide push-ups that often. Instead, I like to make my push-ups more difficult by doing decline push-ups. By elevating your feet, you automatically put more weight onto the chest, and at that pushing angle, you're targeting the upper chest, which is known to be a little more aesthetic. But eventually, any of your push-ups are going to get too boring. We need to spice it up a bit with the next progression. Explosive push-ups. Ugh, can you tell I've been talking for too long? By far the easiest way to get a stronger chest. You're pushing your hands as fast as possible, working those fast twitch muscle fibers, and you're going to be growing a much more dense and aesthetic chest. All right, that's cool and all, but don't we want to target the lower chest? Yes, we do. Which is why we're going to talk about the next progression, dip negatives. The precursor to the dip. It targets the exact same muscles, that lower chest, but with a lot less effort. Same with any negative, the slower you go, the better the gains. But once you start developing that decent chest strength, then you can move on to the next progression, which is of course the dip. Probably one of the best chest builders out there for bodyweight exercises, because it's known as the upper body squat. It targets the lower chest, but you can use it to target the entire chest if you want. The secret lies with going quite deep into the exercise to get a nice stretch on the pecs. It feels very good and it's good for you. But you don't need stretch to build anime level pecs. In fact, you can develop a really good chest without a stretch using this next progression, straight bar dips. This dip variation I find is a lot more chest focused. It could be the hand placement, it could be the nature of the dip, I don't know, but for some reason I find it works at chest better. And you're using less triceps, it's a lot more chest isolated. So if you really want to target that only and you want to avoid targeting the shoulders and triceps more, then this is the one I would go with. But we're still not done with push-ups for some reason. For starters, we have uneven push-ups. These are going to help bias one side over the other, which allows you to progressively overload a normal push-up. You can use literally anything, some books, parallettes, or the head of your enemies. But either way you do it, you're going to get more chest stimulation on one side or the other. But these are just the start of your unilateral chest training. Because ever since I did these next progressions, oh my god, my chest blew up like a balloon. Archer push-ups. Oh, with one arm bent, one arm straight. My goodness, are you getting good chest stimulation. And you get to fix any chest imbalances. So if you're right boob dominant, you can balance it out to be evenly boobed. I personally love doing these because they're pretty fun, they look cool, and you can really feel the burn on your chest when you do these for high reps. And once I'm comfortable doing like 10 archers per arm, I would move on to the next progression, the king of all pro level chest building, the one arm push-up. Now you're pushing 60% of your body weight with just one chest and your arm, but mostly the chest. And if you nail this progression, I promise you, your chest is probably already massive. Obviously, these exercises go on push day. But again, I use them as a buffer to separate my shoulder training. And then on my second push day, I have my shoulder training at the beginning, but then I go all in on the chest. I want to feel that pump on that second day. Now let's talk about the arms. Big and juicy, toji arms. Now the first thing that you think of when somebody says big arms is big and bouncy, beautiful biceps. So obviously, we're going to start off with some sort of a bicep curl, a very beginner-friendly bicep curl, the bodyweight bicep curl. I like doing these on the rings, but you can obviously do these on the old broomstick and chairs. Anybody still does that? If you don't have rings by now and you're still using a broomstick and chairs, what are you What are you even doing, brokey? Just make sure when you're doing these, you're not pulling your elbows back so that you're not accidentally targeting your back. Otherwise, that's a row, and we're not doing rows. After you get good at regular bicep curls, we're gonna flip it around with this next progression, pelican curls. Basically bicep curls, but with your hands behind you. It's a lot harder. Like it's a lot harder. It also gives you more stretch on the biceps as well. So it's targeting different parts of the biceps, but it's amazing if you can do it. But the best bicep exercise isn't any form of curls per se. It's actually a compound exercise, and that's just chin-ups, straight chin-ups. I think these are much better than curls because you're actually overloading the biceps with your whole body weight. Granted, your back is helping you. It's like having your back as a personal spotter for your biceps. You're still overloading it with tons of weight, but you just have a little extra assistance. And once your chin-ups are in point, you can progress over to the special form of chin-ups, 21s. Does anybody remember the 21 mean?
21?
You stupid.
Everyone's about the 6'7". What the hell's a 6'7"? Do 7 reps of full chin-ups. Then do 7 reps of top range chin-ups, followed by another 7 reps of bottom range chin-ups. So in total, 21 reps. 21s. The pump you get from this is quite good. I recommend doing these after you've mastered chin-ups. Now, if you're looking for even more of a bicep pump, you gotta hop on this next progression, assisted one-arm chin-ups. Use a strap, a band, a finger, whatever you got lying around, and use it as an assisting arm for these. Since you only have one working arm now, your bicep is going to be working overtime trying to stabilize your body and pull yourself up. It's really good, but try to keep these in like the 6 to 8 rep range. Don't go too hard or else you're just building strength and not so much muscle. Now, if you want even more stimulation, as if that was even possible, even more stimulation, up the progression, up it I say, with one arm, chin up, negatives. Now you have no support. You're on your own because you're just controlling the negative on the way down. Keep maximum tension on your biceps, on your lats as you slowly extend your arm and you descend. Absolute pro level gains right here. Now we talked an awful lot about biceps, but gotta give some triceps a little action. 2/3 of the arm, they make up most of the size. Come on, let's talk about triceps. The easiest variation for triceps is going to be Sphinx push-ups. In a plank position, just extend your elbows downward and you lift yourself up with just your triceps. The further you are from your elbows, the easier it's going to be. But the closer you are to your elbows, the harder it's going to be. Now the next progression after that, we're going to be increasing the range of motion by doing tricep extensions. Using chairs, a couch, or a table, you now need to produce a lot more stretch at the bottom of the movement in order to do this progression. It's also going to target a different part of your triceps that's going to make your triceps a lot bigger. It's an area on the back here. That gets big, arms get big. Math simple. But if you want an even more solid tricep pump and you want to target an even different part of the tricep, then you got to be doing diamond push-ups. This is going to target that horseshoe muscle that's on the tricep, and it's going to make your arms far more aesthetic. You develop this, you have a short sleeve, and you flex that horseshoe muscle, the ladies are going to swoon. Actually, never mind. It's gonna be the men. Mostly men are gonna swoon. They're gonna be Myron and be like, "Hey, how'd you get that?" And you'll be like, "Just diamond push-ups." And just a quick reminder: if you guys forget any of these progressions, do not worry. The free app in the description is going to help you get started again. But I know what you're all really after. It's not the V-taper. It's not the arms. It's not the chest. You guys want to know how to get some six-pack shortcuts. Well, there are no shortcuts. I ain't no Mike Chang, but I can show you the path to get there. I can show you the progressions. That's what this video is for. First, I think everybody should start off with the plank. As boring as it is kind of like a rite of passage to other ab training. Only until you understand the true mechanics of flexing your core will your abs truly flourish. Basically, just keep squeezing your core until your lower back isn't curved. It's flat. To spice it up a little, you can also do some side planks to work the obliques. Once you start mastering the plank, hold it for like 2 minutes, you can move on to the next progression, which is the long lever plank. A much more exciting variation of the plank, you're just extending your arms outward, which is gonna force you to squeeze your abs even more to keep you up, thus giving you sexier abs. Ha-cha-cha. But by far, the only reason you'd actually do these is to build up to the next progression, which is going to be hollow body pull-ups. And this is the best. And I say it's the best because when you're in this position, you are forcing your abs to squeeze so that your lower back does not leave the ground. And this ab training trains these very deep muscles called the transverse abdominis, which when strengthened actually function as a natural corset and can actually cinch your waist a little smaller, aka you get a better V-taper. And by the way, the static ab exercises that I'm sharing all do that. They all target that transverse abdominis. But if you want that more six-pack look, then we're gonna need to do some more dynamic stuff, starting with hanging knee raises. Easy, and literally anybody can do these. It requires no flexibility or great amount of strength. You just gotta make sure you tilt your pelvis upwards so that you're properly flexing your abs. Once you get good at those, we can start targeting the other parts of the abs with the next exercise, hanging around the worlds. These are awesome. They are the best for developing rotational ab strength, and they are amazing for targeting those side abs and obliques. But after getting stronger with the knees, we're going to want to get even stronger by extending the legs. And now we're doing hanging leg raises. A lot harder, require a little bit more flexibility, but still amazing ab builder, especially when it's done with control. And once you can get that control and that strength, you're not swinging that much when you do these, then you can move on to toast bar. It's a marvelous test of ab strength, and it also tests a bit more of that flexibility. And in addition, it even targets a bit of your back muscles as well. So you're training your body to flex your core with the rest of your body and also have them move in tandem with each other. Now, if you can master toast bar, you can for sure master this next progression, which is a fundamental of all calisthenics movements, the hanging L-sit. I've turned Italian to tell you this. Mastering this compressive ab exercise is not only going to help you get that six-pack, but it's also going to greatly improve that core strength. The next level above that is parallel L-sits. A little bit harder because you're actively pushing yourself away from the earth, and you need to compress your abs a lot harder. Now, if you're able to do this, then, my student, my pupil, you can move on to the way of the dragon flag. Probably the greatest ab exercise out there. I'm not being biased. I'm just being brutally truthful. This is the best ab exercise, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not true. Start with the tuck dragon flag, then as you get stronger, slowly extend your legs outwards so that you do the full dragon flag. You're gonna feel it in your abs so hard, and it's one of the best ab builders out there. And if you're hitting the dragon flag, I would consider you a pro. But if you're hitting this next progression, I will get on my knees for you. The floor L-sit, a testament of core strength and full body awareness. The hardest variation of the L-sit, and probably the hardest variation of abs in the known universe. The compression, the levitation, the combination of all of the muscles working in tandem, it's just simply beautiful. Now, how I like to incorporate my ab training has varied over time. I used to have like a dedicated day for abs. Then I tried sprinkling them a little bit every day after push legs. And then I tried a phase where I just incorporated them on leg day. But nowadays, I've kind of gone back to having a dedicated ab day. Something about just focusing on abs, that burning feeling, that constant ab tension, it kind of feels nice. But now there's one key element of the anime physique that we have yet to talk about. And I can already hear most of you guys clicking away. But trust me guys, the legs are super important no matter how much we hate them and no matter how long we have already been talking about calisthenics exercises. Because imagine being a man with big ass body and chopstick legs. Also fellas, the ladies love a good butt. So I'm going to show you a progression on how to get that. But don't worry, I'm not going to keep you long. I've been here long enough. I'm going to speed run this bad boy. Bodyweight squats, make legs strong. Next. Explosive squats, make legs fast and strong. Next. Bulgarian split squats, make one leg slightly more strong and make butt slightly bigger. Next. Pistol box squat, make one leg pretty strong, not too much range. Next. Cossack squats, make one leg strong and make the other leg very flexible. Next. Assisted pistol squats, make one leg stronger, more range, no balance. Next. Pistol squat negatives, make one leg even stronger, most range, more balance. Next. Pistol squat, make one leg strongest, lots of range, lots of balance, hard to do, but make leg and butt big. Next. Shrimp squats, there's another way to make the leg strong. Next. Reverse Nordic curls, make quads strong. Next. Hip hinges, make ass and hamstrings strong. Next. Sissy squats, make quads stronger. Next. Nordic negatives, make hamstrings very, very strong. Next. Nordic curls, I can't do these, but they're gonna make your hammies stronger. Okay, we're done. Well, how do I like to train legs? Well, of course, it's on leg day, and I like to get the most difficult moves out of the way first. Then I like to follow it up with something explosive, and then at the end, I'd like to do isolation for my legs. So some quad isolated movement and some hamstring isolated movement. And by now, you should have the full program that I'm recommending you guys. And I promise you, I've been training this way for a while, and it works pretty well. But the problem with the program I'm giving you is actually, it's incomplete. Sure, it's great if you want to like disappear and then come out looking aesthetic. But if you actually want to emerge a completely different person, more handsome, become stronger, better, faster, smarter, then that's going to be an entirely different ballgame. So you're going to want to watch this video right here if you want to learn how to become unrecognizable in just 3 months.